What is up, YouTube? Hey, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to my garage. I missed you guys, and because of this nasty imperfection on my dash, it's been JB welded. It's cracked. It looks terrible. It's a huge eyesore. It's the worst thing, the first thing you see whenever you get in the interior of my car, and it's the last thing that's making it look nice and pretty. But because of that, we are going to be replacing it with this guy right here. So we got a ton of work. We're going to replace the entire dash for this new shell. This is a dash assembly, and stay tuned. It's going to be a lot of work.
Oh my God.
So I've decided to go locate a new dash assembly. Now this is the shell component of the dash on your Mustang. This isn't quite as easy as just pulling off the top dash pad. This is actually the whole shell unit. This is where your wiring is attached to, where your stereo is attached to, where your instrument cluster is attached to, where your AC vents are attached to, and where your instrument, well, I already said instrument cluster. Basically your glove box, everything's attached to this thing. Your AC control units, and everything's attached to this shell unit. So to replace it, it's not as easy as just popping the shell face off and popping it back on. No, unfortunately, we have to pull the whole entire dash completely out. Try to keep all the wires intact and put it all back in like factory would have done. It is going to be a huge chore, and it's going to be a big learning experience, so stay tuned. We're going to go through that, and I'm going to show you guys my experience going through it. I don't know, you're going to find out with me. So check this out. So I decided to go look on eBay. That's the first thing. I wanted an uncracked, mint, really nice dash assembly. On eBay, they're running anywhere between $75 for bad ones to $200, and I've been looking at spending like 150 bucks. The problem is shipping here to my house ended up being like 90 to 100 bucks shipping. So the first thing I did was reach out to my local Fox Body Club here in North Texas and asked if anyone had one. Sure enough, somebody did. They said just come out and pull it yourself, and then I'll charge you 75 bucks. So you know who you are, and thank you so much for helping me out. We went out to his house and pulled this thing out. It didn't take very long to pull, so it gave me a little experience. So I went ahead and pulled it out, and as you can see here, the whole dash assembly had everything in it. We pretty much cut the wires. This car was trash. We cut the wires out of it, and I took the entire dash with the glove box, with the factory stereo, with the dash shroud, instrument cluster shroud, and pretty much with everything intact and attached to it. So what I started to do before I go any further is disassemble it. We've taken off the front plate, I've taken out the stereo, and pretty much disassembled the whole thing to get ready to clean up and paint. So I've got a can of LMR's dark gray that matches the rest of the interior that I've used. So as you can see here, I've used it on the dash pad, and I've used it on my rear panels, and it's matched really good. So I want to keep the whole theme matching, so we're going to take this out, clean up really good, and paint it before disassembling the entire dash and putting this thing in. So we're going to get started by first getting this cleaned, getting it sprayed, getting it nice and pretty, and then we'll start disassembling the stock dash. Okay, so we've hosed it off. I've got it nice and I guess kind of clean here. We need to let it dry off. I need to wipe it down and give it a good amount of time to dry off. But you can take a look at it now and see really how good a shape this thing is in. It's not cracked, and these typically love to crack here where mine is cracked, around the stereo, and around this area here. And it's got a hairline crack in it right there. You can see it right there. So that's about all it's got. Otherwise, it does have some crack on the top where somebody removed it, or attempted to remove it once before me. It's got some cracks along the speaker area. So again, this is a, this is an old part. This is from an 85. If you didn't know that, it says it right there. So I'm assuming my 86 says 86 right there. But anyways, we're going to switch the GT stuff back over. If you notice, this came with This piece here, this is a non-GT piece, and of course the interior was red. This came off an 85 red convertible. So I've also got the non-GT panel, or I guess the instrument cluster surround, which I think I might do something kind of creative with. You know, who knows? We'll play around with it, maybe do some paint it carbon fiber. I don't know. But either way, these will be switchable. I like the standard GT one because this is unique to the GT. So I want to keep it original as far as what it is. I don't want to change it up too much. So I'm going to put the GT faceplate back on, this back on. So essentially it'll look the same, other than everything here will be nice and fresh. So we're going to paint this. I need to make sure it is perfectly dry. We're going to prep it really good. What I've got is some SEM vinyl prep, which is right here. So that we'll be using that on it. That'll kind of open up the pores and allow that paint to soak in and work and do its magic. So we're going to do that. And let's just go over real quick what I've already removed. The AC control panel here has already been removed, and I actually put it into the car. The reason I did that is because the stock one, in fact the stock one's right here, was melted right there from too hot of a light bulb. This one's not melted, and also it's got some broken components, and the switch here for the defrost had broken off, so it was really wiggling back there. So because of that, this new piece is in really good shape. This car must have been taken care of or had low miles on it, but that's already been switched out. Oh Jesus! Which doesn't matter anyway, so we're gonna pull all this stuff out. So just to let you guys know, you've got a huge chore ahead of you doing this. Everything's got to be removed. We need to get the stereo out. We need to drop the steering column, unhook the headlight switch, unhook the fog light switch, unhook the fuse main relay, take the instrument cluster out. The glove box needs to come out, and this needs to come off. The pad needs to come off, and we need to unhook the dash from all the components. The same components that I did when we did the heater core. So the difference between that and this one is I didn't take the whole dash out, because even looking at it then I was like, it's too much work. That's a lot of work. So with the heater core, we just unbolted the dash, pulled it away so I can get to the heater core box, or the AC HVAC box, and replace the core. This time we're actually going to have to take the whole thing completely out. Ugh. Yeah, let's let this dry 24 hours before I paint it tomorrow, and then I guess we'll start disassembling the interior tonight. Why not? Right up in there. See it? That guy. You've got one 7/16 screw on each end. One here and one there on the same end. You'll see a metal bracket going to your lower body of the A-pillar. So get yourself a 7/16. Remove that from each side. Next thing you want to do is remove a bolt that is right there. That guy right there is attached to your
stereo center console, and that bracket reaches back into the body of the car. However, this bracket here is part of your dash that we'll be removing, so remove this guy, the 7/16 as well.
Okay, it's going to start looking like a mess, but don't fret, don't fear. Even though your interior is well torn apart and you're not driving this tomorrow, go ahead and look at your top screws. The only thing holding this entire dash together right now are going to be the screws here. If you've got these still in place, there and there, this bracket stays to the body of the car and the dash slips underneath it, so you got a screw here and there, and you'll have one back there, so the same spot that's over here. Now this is really hard to get to. You'll need to find yourself an angle plier, one that does this, and I've got one, and that's gonna be your best bet in getting this out. Then the dash should fall down, so you want to be careful. This is where we're gonna take a two-man job. Probably you want someone to help you. I'm gonna pull it down just enough to see all the wires, start taking pictures of where the routing goes, all the wires went, and then start pulling the wires away from the dash. The goal tonight is to get this dash completely out of the car. Yeah. Okay, it's this tool that's going to be your best friend. And these angles. It's about the only thing you're going to find that'll fit here. Okay, and just like that, your dash is now no longer supported to the vehicle, and it looks like a huge mess. I know. So we want to be careful now. Things will start breaking. There's a lot of weight on it, mainly because the stereo's still in it. I was hoping I can pull the dash out enough to disconnect the stereo, but this is where we really want to take some pictures. So I'm going to get back here. I can see through the windshield, and I'll be able to take some pictures back here of the routing of a lot of these wires. And where they're going, and I know for a fact that we can easily remove the all the air vents now by just simply taking off all the top screws on your dash assembly. So removing this, that one, and you've got some up in there, two of them I believe. That just disconnects all your plastics to your vent. That goes back to your HVAC box. So that'll give you some more room to see the wires and work. So I'm gonna do that right now. Okay, I'm going to be honest, I want to actually take video as much of the wiring as I can. Maybe for you, I may edit it out, but mostly for me. I want to be able to go back and look at this. I want you guys to make note that these plastic clips are what's holding your wiring harness here. So you've got a wiring harness going to this side. You've got wires that are connected here. And you've got your section wires there that are going up into your center control unit for your AC, which is this section here. So this side of your wiring harness is routed through here and then this way, and there's some wires here, and you'll see the main bulk of it going up through the center there. So yes, it's a mess, and no, I can't get this on video for you completely, but do look, you've got your wiring harness up to your dash clips on there, and you've got a clip on that side, which is going to take care of the components going up to your dash. So these are going through the center. So you got sections of wire going through here, through the center, and then it splits up for these here for your AC, HVAC controls, and you've got a T splitting off this way, going to the wires to your glove box, your light, your hatch release, your fuel door release. And then back through here, you've got some main harnesses and relays going back through here. So don't forget, you've got vacuum lines back here, so be careful. You can't easily disconnect vacuum lines. So all this stuff is routed from forward in a pretty neat way. And right now, you just got to identify all your wires, make sure it's going to be able to be pulled out. Because right now, I'm personally having a difficult time just seeing back behind everything. So your main harness is going through here. That's going to split down to your fuse box. I've already released. God dang it. I know, I'm sorry guys, you can't see here. I've already released the fuse panel from back there. We're going to run and release the headlight switch. It's a pretty major bulk of the what's keeping this side up right now. Okay, so yeah, I've gotten a lot of the wiring harness out. What I've been doing, guys, is taking lots of pictures and really working my way this way. Unclipping anything that's attached this way, unplugging. There is an absolute ton of wires, sensors, and relays that are actually attached up. You can see there's a relay there, some sort of a box control unit there in the center. There's the glove box light. And some other stuff, and I've basically unattached everything across the passenger side unit, up this way, moved this way, and then now I've actually released the main harness. So everything from the radio this way is disconnected and ready to be pulled out. I'm working my way this way. I can just kind of reach my hand behind, and all these wires in a loom, and they all clip onto the back of your dash assembly. So getting this back in is going to be very difficult, but we're going to do it anyways, and I'm just working my way this way. So take your time, work this way, and keep going towards the driver's side. That's what I'm doing now. I'm kind of on the driver's side, and just as I come across a loom or wire, I take a picture of it. I take a picture of how it's attached to the back of this unit, and then I'm actually unclipping it, and then moving my way all the way down until everything's free. Okay, as I'm releasing the main wire harness from this side, what I'm going to do, and what I've learned is a lot of these clips, instead of releasing all the wires, say from this wire loom clip right here, what you can actually do is just release the whole clip itself. And all they do is lift up, and see they push out, and now you've got the whole clip in place with a wire in it, so it helps remind me of what's where. And I've got another clip right here that I'm also going to do the same thing, and I'll be able to lift this up just like that, and that releases the wiring harness from the back of this unit here, see? And just like that, the wiring's pretty much released back here. So yeah, and just so you know, this wire for my light goes through this hole right here. Okay, the only thing I think that's really holding this whole dash together right now, since everything's been released from the back of the instrument cluster, is the headlight switch. The headlight switch actually is a pretty bulky switch. Let me show you guys. I've got an extra one over here. I think the easiest way to remove it is actually remove the switch itself versus the whole assembly. So what you've got is this unit right here underneath the dash, and the plug is plugged into here, and it's clipped on both sides here and here. Now what you want to do is find this little button on the back of it. You want to turn your headlight switch all the way clockwise. So if it's on this way, go ahead and turn it all the way clockwise till it stops right there. And then what you're going to want to do is push this button down and pull on the headlight assembly. Ugh, yeah, like that. Okay, so again on mine, same deal. Turn all the way clockwise, push the button in, and this one came out quite a bit easier. Now the headlight switch itself, this should turn. Okay, that is what holds your headlight. And that should be the last piece. Getting my dash out of here. It's free! Oh yeah. Yeah, we got quite the mess, don't we? Well, this, guys, is what's left. After tearing apart your dash. So it's up there. We've got that one there to be replaced with this one. I want you guys to tell me if you think it's worth it. So I'm gonna end this right now. This is gonna be the end of part 1 for the dash assembly replacement. It is a hell of a job, not for the faint of heart, but take lots of pictures. And yeah, I want you guys to comment below and let me know if you think this is worth it just for 1 or 2 cracks in your dash. I think a lot of people would have probably just left it and, you know, said it is what it is. But I want that crack to be gone, so this is what we're doing. So you guys, let me know. Would you do this? Do you think it's gonna go back together? Do you think I want to screw this up? Do you think once it's back together, everything's gonna work? Do you think I'm way in over my head? I don't know, man. You tell me, and we'll see you guys on part 2 of the dash assembly video on my 86 Fox Body Mustang. Make sure to subscribe, follow me on Instagram, and yeah, we'll see you guys next time. Take care.